Okay, I'm on the line.
Hi, Patrick.
Okay. Okay, I want to first off thank everybody that's put these documents into the Social Security office and got response back from them. From that, we can ascertain that several things were not quite right. One of the key things is that we chartered, okay, when we set up the Social Security account, we chartered our vessel, our account, as a banking vessel to the Social Security Administration, to the Department of the Treasury, to the Federal Reserve banking system, to the IRS. The Social Security number with the 2 dashes in it is a charter bank routing number. It's not our routing number. It's for them. Okay? Our account number is the Social Security number without the dashes. We're the owner. We're the ship owner. Because all of this is under the Shipping Act, Title 46. But we chartered. We're the owner of this vessel. And we chartered it to them. It was supposed to be a 25-year charter at the max. Okay? So right now it's in breach of the charter in the process. We can close it down any time. You've got to go in and read the definitions in the dictionaries about charter. The chartering party. Okay? Chartering party, a maritime contract within admiralty jurisdiction. A contract by which an entire ship or some principal part of is let by the owner to another person for a specific time or use. They're the chartering party. Just like the First National Bank of America. It was a charter bank. Chartered by Congress in the process. We set up this charter bank account vessel, and it's being held in a motormain down there in Puerto Rico. We have to come in under a ship owner's lien, and that's why I sent out to Tom and had him post that document the other day. Okay, and a couple other documents out there. We're the ship owner, so we have to place our lien on our vessel to get them to basically be obligated to pay. You read what it says about ship owners' lien. The lien of a ship owner for a demurrage, freight, or maritime service or obligation. They're the ones that are under obligation to make the payments. They took the money away from us. They're holding all the money. They owe us the service for the running of our vessel. Okay? Now, where is this ship owner's lien? Does anybody know?
Chapter 47.
You guys can speak up. I mean, basically, that's what this is all about, is trying to get a group consensus here in understanding what's going on.
Would it be the certificate of live birth?
No.
No.
Social Security card?
No.
Yeah. No.
That's the contract. That is the charter, is the Social Security card.
Yeah.
That's the chartering instrument.
Okay.
Would it be in your birth state?
No.
Louisiana?
Maybe it's held by the U.S. Treasury.
No.
No?
Well, if
Or
it's
the
shipping
Louisiana?
act, it's got to be offshore.
We know it's offshore. The vessel's being held offshore. We've had even a federal court of claims judge tell one of the guys, "You're still out at sea. Your vessel's still out at sea." It is. It's located in Puerto Rico. We know where it's at. But I'm asking about the ship owner's lien. What document places a ship owner's lien on our vessel?
Birth certificate?
No.
How about a homestead?
No.
Or a maritime lien?
No. Come on, people, think.
How about the EIN number?
Which one?
The estate.
That's it. You declared that vessel dead. It's dead in the water. Now, you as the owner have the right to claim that vessel. That is your ship owner's liening document. Now you have a routing number to go against that vessel account. That estate EIN is now your one-way routing number to route the funds out of that vessel's account, even to the point of shutting it down. So, on our drafts, we have to modify them that this is a ship owner's lien draft. That we're coming in and claiming credits under our liening rights. We're going to have to modify the Form 56s over the estate EIN and address the fact that this is a ship owner's liening document. Yes.
46, Chapter 313, Subchapter 3, Maritime Liens. I think that has everything that we need in it.
It's got part of it, yeah.
Authority, establishing maritime liens and recording and discharging of notices of claim.
Yeah, but all we have to do, we've got our EIN. We needed to have a routing number to route the funds out.
What if you don't have the estate EIN yet? But
You better get it.
I'm working on it.
Okay. It's not that hard to get. You can get it online. You can have it tomorrow morning. We've got the example up there on the site for getting that. If you got the American jurisprudence, you could also go through American jurisprudence. 48 American jurisprudence. American jurisprudence first volume on shipping.
Gotcha.
And basically, Section 562 is the one that covers liens, ship owners' liens. But that one document that I had Tom post up there about owners' liens on cargo for unpaid freight in China. It's only 2 pages. It gives you a pretty good example there, especially in the one statement over on the right-hand side that's in italicized little paragraph. This shipment is carried under and pursuant to the terms of the charter party dated, and then XXX, and all the terms whatsoever of said charter, including the lien under clause XX on freight. Dated, okay, and 3 X's. I don't think any date has just 3 X's.
No.
Could that be the first 3 digits of your Social Security number? And then down underneath the clause where it just has 2 X's, could that be the first 2 letters of your EIN? Little things like this are out there. You have to read between the lines of some of this stuff. But this is all under, and it's under the Ship Mortgage Act also. You can read a statute which provides for a maritime lien enforceable by suit in rem in favor of any person furnishing repairs, supplies, towage, use of dry dock, maritime rail, or other necessities to a vessel upon the order of the owner or of a person authorized by the owner. Now you understand why all these courts are maritime and admiralty courts. But you have to come in as the ship owner, and you have to stand beside. You're not the ship. And that's what you need to do, the diversity in any court case. Anybody that's got a court case out there, unless you have caused physical harm and damage to something, the item that is being charged is the vessel, not you. They're operating under false identity and identity theft. You have to come in and under diversity establish who the hell is the one being charged. The court cannot go any further until that is determined. And if they try and snowball over that, you can claim mistrial and turn around and sue them in the process. You have to know that you're in charge here. The government works for you. We are the superior government in this country. It's we, the people, that established this charter with them. They're working for us, not the other way around. We really don't need them. We can get rid of all the police force and everything else out here and go to a vigilante system if we need to. That would probably cut down one hell of a lot of crime, because most of the crooks are in the damn police force and everything, and the court system, and the government, the pedophilias and everything else out here. Because we've been letting them get away with everything. You don't We don't need to send this to Social Security. They're not going to do a damn thing with it because they can't operate with the EIN number as a routing number. We're going to have to either send it directly into Kansas City Financial Center or the Philadelphia Financial Center. You can take your bills and basically you can make note back to the place that it came from, that you're coming in as the ship owner of that, and you're claiming the rent that they owe you or the charter usage of that. And if they don't set it off, then you turn around and send that bill down to Kansas City or Philadelphia. Now, does anybody have any problem with that? Does anybody have any questions on that? Is anybody on the line?
Yep.
Patrick, can you clarify? Hi, would you clarify what you just said? Take your bills and make a note back to the place they came from?
Yeah, you basically send it back. You're coming in as the ship owner of that account.
Okay.
They've leased your vessel.
Right.
Okay? The certificate of title to your house. That's a vessel account. You're the owner of that house. The government is not, but you put that under a charter to them so that they could make some money off of it, but they owe you the rent, the charter back, the leasing value back to you. All licenses are, and see, you don't need a driver's license. I'm going to restate this again. I don't know how many of you people are out there in a rural farming situation. How many people see tractors drive up and down the road? How many of those people on the tractors have driver's license? None. They don't need it. How many of those tractors have plates on them? None. Because they're not for hire and they're not for profit on the highways.
Hey, Patrick.
Yes.
So, have you ever looked into the land patents that go through? They're all under the Department of Transportation. I just found payment of trade-in allowance on obsolete vessel. It's going through the Secretary of Transportation. Have we contacted them for any of this stuff?
We have tried to do that in the past, and that's bullshit. Okay?
Okay.
It is.
I was just curious.
I mean, think about it. Really. This is all about banking. It's not about transportation. So who's going to be in charge of the banking? The Treasury Department. The Treasury was the one that allowed the assets to come out of the de jure Treasury of the country, and when we set up a Social Security account, they deposited initially roughly somewhere between $640 and $1 million into that Social Security account. They needed to have assets, real assets, to start up. Because you weren't working or anything at that point in time. But yet, the state and everybody was utilizing that for public education, for your medical expenses, you name it. Different things. They were coming in and basically utilizing that account, that vessel, under charter. Now, they owe us rent for all the times that they've used that. It was only supposed to be a max of 25 years. You can read that in Title 46.
See that?
The vessels were supposed to be terminated, and I tried to get that established with them years ago when I first came across Title 46 and found that everything is out here is under that Shipping Act.
Mm-hmm.
But we did not know where our ship owner's lien was at. And I've had mine for almost 5 years. A little over 5 years almost. And it's the estate EIN number. I got to thinking about this the other night. Last Sunday night, or last Wednesday night, and Sunday, basically I went over using the 98 series number as the routing number to go against, using our birth certificates, against the de jure treasury. So I had that routing number down, but I thought that the Social Security we could go in, but it's not our routing number. The Social Security number with the dashes. It's got 2 dashes on it. They're using it. It's their charter bank routing number. So that they can put funds, and the IRS draws funds out when we put a 1040 form in for tax return. They can draw funds out. Most of the time, they're putting funds into it. That's our cargo. They're depositing credits into our account. We have to come in and we're claiming our cargo.
Do we establish that on our WABEN?
You can basically add that to it. Yes, if you want to. Make that statement in there. Yeah.
Yes, I added the word ship owner right after public trustee.
But basically, you need to update your Form 56F over the estate. And your individual banker is the authorized representative for the ship owner or the private bank owner. You. You can look up the merge lien also. It's the same thing as a ship owner's lien.
Okay, I got my 56F up.
Just add it in there.
Oh, the evidence of creation of fiduciary relationship?
A financial fiduciary relationship, yes. Form 56F over your estate, EIN.
On Part 2,
okay.
22E.
You can go over it later, okay? It's not that hard. Just add something in there in one of the statement lines that this is also classified as your ship owner's lien. This EIN that you have in place. And that your individual banker and your private bank, who is the fiduciary, and your individual banker, who is the agent for the fiduciary, is now the one in charge over that vessel. Because you've placed the ship owner's lien over that vessel now with your estate EIN.
I'm thinking probably Part 3.
Anybody else have any questions on this?
This is Steve. How did you get the 25 years? Is that just
it's in
typical?
Title 46.
Okay.
We've gone over that in the past, Steve.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Those are obsolete.
So that's quite a bit of claim right there, because we're all past that 25-year stuff. If you got a Social Security number when you're 16 years old, it's 25 years more. Is like 41.
No. 25 years of age.
Oh, okay.
Right now, they start establishing the Social Security when they come out of the hopper.
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Initially, back when I was going to school, basically they paid. The schools were a lot better, and basically it was until the Social Security system came out, and then it went bonkers after that, because now they came in with all the administrative officers and everything else in the damn school system, and the school system just went to shit.
Mm-hmm.
But up until that point in time, basically the parents had control over the school system and not the government administrators in the damn process.
Right.
They don't even listen to the people anymore. They're going to do what they want to do, and that's it.
Right.
To make a profit. They're out there for a profit.
When I graduated, I helped write a valedictorian speech for my friend, and we addressed the school district as graduating people that didn't know how to read or write or spell, and how it was a big farce, and we just tore them up, which is true, you know.
Well, Patrick, so the paperwork that we send into Kansas City this next time, I don't see where the estate EIN goes anywhere. I don't see it.
It goes where you were putting your bank routing number as the Social Security number.
Okay.
That's got to be modified. Okay, I'm working on a change of template update, but basically anybody should be able to figure that out. You need to change that now as your ship owner's lien routing number instead of the Social Security, Treasury Social Security routing number, bank routing number.
So you're talking about that would work on the electronic transfer form? That's where we have our independent treasury routing number. So, okay,
yeah,
thank you.
The bank routing number would be the estate EIN.
Okay, great.
Okay, you're routing it out of that Maritime vessel account down in Puerto Rico, an offshore account. So you need a routing number and an account number. The account number is your Social Security without any dashes. And then you can put an order in, even a wire transfer at your local bank, and have funds wired right into your account. But you need to update your Form 56F. Probably should update, maybe put a little statement and modify your W-8BEN, and have your copy of your estate EIN from the IRS. These two, the Foreign Grantor Trust and the estate EIN, are also exempt. We're the owner of the vessel. We owe no taxes. The chartering party owes the taxes. When Dorothy basically liquidated the witch, what did she get? She got the broomstick. What happened to the broomstick? All the bristles were burned off. That means the taxes were paid. The bristles were the taxes that were owed. Little innuendos and different things like that basically you need to sort of sit back and think about these things. Okay? I know it's hard for most people because of the way you've been taught out here.
We're all deer in the headlights.
Yeah, and basically everybody out here, but I've been trying to get this across to people about going into court. You go into court, you have to basically put that diversity plea in. That's the first thing you do. I am who I say I am. Who do you say I am? And when you ever go into court, you never make a statement. You can state something, but you always finish it off by a question to them. You leave them to where they have to answer to you.
Who do you think I am? Yeah.
I am who I say I am. Who do you say I am? I am not a fiction. Who's the charge against? The living or a fiction? These courts can't charge the living unless there has been actual harm, an injured party, or property damaged. And speeding down the highway isn't injuring anybody. Or driving without a license. You're not driving. Get that through your head. You're not a driver. You never were a driver. Unless you're hauling somebody around for hire. That they're paying you to ride in your vehicle.
I agree. Also, can I have you listen to one thing real quick? These are my twin 5-year-olds. Girls, do we drive or do we travel?
Travel.
Why is that?
Because we don't need our license.
Did you catch that?
We travel. I mean, it's just like taking a tractor out on the highway, a combine, whatever. They are operating on the highway, but they're not operating for profit or for hire. Now, it's debatable in some cases on some of these tractors whether they're operate for hire on the highway, but they can't go out there and license all the tractors or the combines. I mean, a 10-year-old kid could drive a tractor down the road. He isn't even of age to get a driver's license.
Patrick, when we send these documents, do we CC it to the Treasury Department on Miss Pennsylvania?
Can you what?
CC it. Send another copy to the Treasury Department on Pennsylvania, 1500 Pennsylvania.
Why do you need to CC a copy to them?
Well, I was thinking, would they, do some accounting or something, some sort of...
No,
accounting?
get it sent into Philadelphia. You want funds out of your Maritime account? Send it to Philadelphia. That's the finance center. We bypassed the Social Security. The Social Security system ain't going to operate with us. The charter ain't going to be the one to enforce the charter. We've got to go to the finance center and they're a Bureau of Physical Services. They're in the Bureau of Physical Services in the Treasury Department. When we have our writings up, our cover letter and everything, addressing that we're coming in as the ship owner and that we're putting a claim against the charter vessel, the bank vessel, and we want our payment per our lien, per our EIN, our estate EIN, and that is our ship owner's lien. It's just like going out and placing a maritime lien against a judge or something like that, or against the governor of a state. People have done that in the past, and basically they have every right to. Basically, if they do not comply with what we want, we know how to get out of the system now. We've got our estate EIN. Everything that we own now is either under our estate or under our trust. Most of everything that we have is going to be under our estate EIN. You place your vehicle under your estate EIN. You don't need to pay sales tax on buying a new car. You don't need to register that with the state. The only reason you need to register it with the state basically is bullshit. There's no law on the books that forces you to do that. That's all codes. You're not required to set up a charter with the state. Everything out here is voluntary. You people understand that, I hope.
Yes.
Yep.
Hey, Patrick, how is this going to come into play with like a vendor out here in the public?
In what regards?
As far as discharging something, if you're already going down that process before this new one that you come up with. I mean, I'm fighting on. They're trying to repo a car from me, and for about the last month and a half, I've been dealing with these people before I
get the bill and send it into Kansas City. Do a draft and send it into Kansas City or Philadelphia, and have them send the payment to that car dealer.
Okay.
And then they are going to have to pay the charter fee down to your account.
Right. I did a conditional acceptance against the car company. Is that kind of just out the window now when I do this other deal?
If you've got your estate EIN, you have them, okay?
Okay, I got that.
You need to utilize that instead of anything else.
I got you.
This is my ship owner's lien on that vehicle. I'm demanding my restitution. You're a charter organization. Read the definitions about charter.
I will.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm not trying to jump down your throat. I'm just trying to make a point, basically to get you to think.
Well, I appreciate you jumping down my throat. I mean, it makes us learn.
Hey, Patrick.
Yes.
Earlier.
Speak up a little.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Earlier, I brought up Department of Transportation, and you mentioned that it didn't work. I think I figured out why. 46-50301 under Subchapter 5, Part A, 503. Part A. In general, there is a vessel operations revolving fund for use by the Secretary of Transportation in carrying out blah, 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 blah. They get the money, and they won't release it. That's why. So, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but see, we've got to go to the finance. We've got to go to the Treasury. That's where the pressure has to come down.
Exactly.
From the Treasury.
Because they get a chunk of funds, and they're not going to hand it out to anyone except for themselves.
Yeah.
So I was just backing up what you were saying.
Yeah, and what is it? It's the Department of the Treasury, or Department of the Transportation. Okay.
They just specify Secretary of Transportation, but it'd be the same thing in my mind, yeah.
Yeah. There was no de jure transportation department ever set up.
Nope. And in my mind, the code doesn't go any farther than Title I or anything that's applicable to human beings.
Yeah, you have to look at these things, okay? Everybody's been going to the state or Department of the State, okay, for apostilles and different things, or to the state of South Carolina or state of Maine, Secretary of State.
It is the corporation built off the Fed.
Yeah, basically those are all in the de facto side.
Yep.
It's the State Department that you have to go to, or the Treasury Department. Those are in the de jure side of the government. Now, the first department of anything was the Department of the Treasury. It was set up prior to the first national bank being set up, where they set up a private bank. But they had to set up this other, not using the department or the Treasury Department, they had to set up a Department of the Treasury to deal with the private bank. See, when you start piecing these things together, then the history of this country and everything that is transcribed through the statutes and everything, you can see how they have started setting up organizations within the de jure organization. And right now, the vast majority of everything is in the de facto side of this government system that we're operating under, because they're all out there for profit. The Postal Service. The de jure in this country was the Post Office. The Postal Service is a commercial for-profit organization. They're borrowing money from the Federal Reserve Bank by way of our assets down there in Puerto Rico. That's why everything basically is paid, already prepaid in the postal system. That's why the postal inspector, even though he had a 3-inch binder and another 1-inch binder of instruments that I've sent out to where I've made up my own stamps, I've done a whole bunch of different things, sending stuff out here. They tried to claim, and I said, hey, I did all of that. Let's go to court. He had 2 U.S. Marshals there ready to try and arrest me. But basically, when I stood my ground against them, they could not touch me because I was standing in the private. I was standing as a ship owner. I also had my EIN, and I think I addressed that to them, too. And see, that's my ship owner's lien, basically, that would have had control over the postal system, saying, hey, you owe me, I don't owe you. So they weren't going to go anywhere. And now, under this diversity, basically, they ain't going to take me into court anyway. May shoot me, but that's beside the point. Hell, half my family wants to shoot me. But that's another story.
I can relate.
Patrick, so this thing with the Social Security Administration, let's say nothing happens, so we don't send anything to the Inspector General, right?
We don't need to go to the Inspector General on the Social Security, right?
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, it's not going to go anywhere because basically we need to go in now as the ship owner. Now we can go directly to the Inspector General of the Treasury Department if things don't comply, because we're coming in with our ship owner's lien. We're the owner of this country. We're the owners of this planet. The corporations don't own anything. We, the people, own everything on this planet. The biggest fallacy, the biggest lie ever told was that you are a sinner by all the churches and everything out here, trying to get you to be a sinner, a debtor. How can you be the debtor if you own the planet? You can't. That they set up fictions and then got you to claim to be the fiction, to be a debtor, that you're really the ship owner and you have all of those funds coming to you anyway, so you're really the true creditor in the background. They owe you. It's not an I owe you, it's a they owe you scenario.
Patrick, I got a question.
Yeah.
All right. You mentioned you're going to change things on the check. Down where we're going to put our EIN for our state, what are you going to write in front of it? Right now it's got U.S.S.S. Treasury Bank Routing Number. What are we going to put in front of that, the number? Or
you could put ship owner's routing number,
okay.
lien routing number, a state EI ship. Let me see, what did I say here? Let me look. I got a couple that I'm working on right now.
Yeah, I'm going to send this check out tomorrow.
Private estate EI routing number, or ship owner's routing number.
Okay.
Private bank routing number?
Huh? Instead
Private.
of the bank routing number, yes. Because that is the routing number. You're the ship owner and you're coming in against the vessel.
We're going to leave the account the same, USSS account with the Social Security number without slash.
No, you could put that down as basically, you would change that to I know I changed that one. SS Estate Bank Account.
That's estate. Okay.
Or vessel account. SS Estate Vessel Account.
Okay. And up top,
Because
we've got American Private Bank, USS Treasury Draft, Credit Distribution. We're changing that also?
just wait until I post it up here, okay?
Okay.
Does it matter what color the draft is?
What?
Does it matter what color the draft would be? Can I make it any color I want?
You can make it any color you want. You can modify this. You can make up your own, okay? Don't need to have it in my format. You can take a look at that one document that I had Tom post up there about negotiable instruments last Wednesday.
Right.
Basically, they were very simple instruments, negotiable instruments, very simple. But they didn't have a bank routing number or an account number, I don't think, on the things. And they didn't have a certified mail number on them either, I don't think. But this is a ship owner's credit lien disbursement. That's what should be in red. And this would be an American Private Bank, US/SS Chartered Vessel Draft. You're placing a draft against this chartered vessel that you've chartered out. And you can terminate that charter anytime you want to now, because it's past due.
So would you leave the draft blank if you wanted to liquidate it?
No, you could write in there for total liquidation.
Okay, yeah, I see. Oh, and that's going to still be negative, right?
No, you wouldn't be in it. For a total liquidation, you're just going to liquidate it.
I'm just, all right, Patrick, I was just thinking, I got to ask you something about that estate. I've been wanting to ask you this for the longest time. I mean, if the estate makes us the decedent, wouldn't it almost be like common sense to have a will to back that up?
No, you don't need to have a will. A fiction never had a will to begin with. Only a living person can have a will.
I was just asking in regard to other gatekeepers, man. I mean, just to kind of almost like cover your ass because of that.
No, I don't know about these gatekeepers. I don't know about half these things that basically they want to set up a special organization and everything else. I'm trying to keep this thing totally as an independent individual system. I'm just an individual, basically, and that's it. Yeah. I'm not going to be a father or a guru over a whole bunch of people. I'm just trying to put out the information that I know that I found out on an individual basis. All these other people that want to have you sign up and be a group member and everything else, basically that's all bullshit. That's nothing more than another damn church, in my opinion. That's why you got the opportunity to go either way with what Tom has set up here with this e-concurrent. Basically, there's no membership sign up with that at all. So you can get all the documents for free off of there.
Patrick Devine for President 2020.
Bullshit. I wouldn't be president of this damn country if I was the last person here.
Politics.
Because there'd be no need for a president then. Yeah, people in this country don't even know how to read the damn Constitution. They keep putting these damn same people into office year after year. And they don't even know that they're not supposed to be in there. They have to sit out one term before they can go for a re-election or for an election again.
I have a question, Pat.
Yeah.
Patrick?
Yeah.
On this Form 56F, in Part 2, the bottom line says evidence of creation of fiduciary relationship, and I see it was original quote-unquote letters patent for private bank registration. What is letters patent represent?
Well, basically, I would change that to the initial charter setup for the Social Security vessel charter. Okay? Take that out and modify it and say that this was set up per the initial charter, the Social Security charter.
Okay. Initial charter. Thank you.
Yeah, see, read over the definitions about charter, okay? And see, that's all that this was. We set up a vessel. And basically, we own that Social Security account number. The one without the dashes. The one that they have on the Social Security card with the dashes, that is their routing number. Okay? That's what they always want to see that. They always ask you to see your Social Security card. They want to see the routing number.
Yes.
Because the routing number is what they use in the process, in their commercial world. But the account number is basically remove the dashes because that's a dead man's account and he can't run a dash. He's dead. And that's why nobody out here has really gotten this thing going, is because they did not know that this estate EIN was really a ship owner's lien. And then it was also a bank routing number to route funds out of that account for the ship owner. You're the owner. The government is not the owner of anything. They can't own anything. You understand that?
Got it down.
They have to zero their books at the end of every year. So they have to borrow money to operate with the next day. Who do they borrow the money from? We the people, the source. Just like in the movie Matrix. We are the source. Neil had to follow the 3 lines to get to the source. The estate EIN, the foreign grantor trust EIN, and individual banker EIN. The 3 lines going to the source.
One more question.
You got a question? Ask it.
Okay. Sorry. Somebody go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
All right. On Form 56 example, it showed last name first on part 1, line 1, last name first, first name, colon, S.S. Mort Main account. Should that same thing be put on the 56F?
I would.
Okay. Thank you.
It's yours. I mean, what do you want to make a statement up there of what this vessel is, SS vessel, okay? And it's a mortmain vessel.
Yes.
It's a dead man's account. Sort of like in the Pirates of the Caribbean. And like I said on Wednesday night's call, okay, that is controlled out of Puerto Rico. But it's out of the Port Royal, out of the port of San Juan, which is basically still under the control, the port is still under the control of England. Just like the port of Louisiana or the port of New Orleans is still, United States doesn't own the port. France owns the port in New Orleans. That's why in several movies out here, it refers to don't touch them until they get on land. They have to debark off the ferry, come on land, and get out of the port area. Then they can be arrested because now they're on American soil. Otherwise, they were on France. And yet you would be under international jurisdiction. And that's why there was such a big fiasco in getting aid into New Orleans down there.
Okay.
There were ships with supplies to bring into New Orleans, but France basically was pissed off at them by using HARP to set up that damn hurricane to come directly into New Orleans down there. That the money changers were trying to control the situation. See, people don't realize how much bullshit has gone on in this country, that the money changers are the culprits, are the evil behind all the stuff going on. It's not some bin Laden sitting over in Afghanistan doing all this shit. It's our own damn bankers here in this country. We can destroy this country from within a hell of a lot better than Obama or whatever his name over there in Afghanistan. He didn't bring down the towers. The Bushes brought down the towers.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And you can say that to 1 million people, and 1 million people gonna believe otherwise, Patrick.
Yeah, and now they want to put another damn Bush in office, and a Hillary Dyke Clinton in office. How goddamn dumb can people be? I don't know.
Okay, Patrick, how would people apply this that's on parole?
What's that?
How would people apply this that's on parole?
Well, if they got their EIN, basically they can settle the account. You need to go in there and basically go back in to the court and have the court do the diversity.
Okay.
Appeal that damn parole up to a higher court. Who's the one that's supposed to be on parole, the living or a fiction?
Okay.
Patrick, where is that diversity document? Is it like an affidavit of diversity, or what is it?
No, it's a definition. Look it up in the dictionary. But I had Tom post it, I thought.
Okay.
Yes, you put a document out there, right.
And I made a statement trying to clarify what the definition is, because nobody could read the definition and understand the definition the way I do. So I wrote it up to where I said exactly what it needs to be said. That's the out for anybody going into court. Because you are not supposed to be there. It's a fictional court. The name is all capital. The state of whatever is all capital. The damn judge, the attorneys in there are all fictions. They're all operating under liability protection. So they're insurance fictions. They're not going to risk their neck out there as a living individual.
Okay,
because you haven't harmed anybody. Now, if you've harmed somebody, then you're going to be in a different court scenario. And you've got to have the actual injured party bring the charge against you. If the state is trying to bring the charge against you, then basically the state's in there trying to make a damn profit.
Okay.
It's that simple.
The EIN you bring to the court, you're speaking of the estate EIN?
What's that?
I said the EIN you said to bring into the court, is that the estate EIN or the foreign branch trust EIN, or is it all of them?
You need to come in under the diversity first, okay?
Okay.
And see, they're bringing it in. They're trying to charge your fictional person.
Okay.
Okay, so you've got to establish that. Who are you charging? You're charging basically the fiction.
Right.
And that will basically probably throw the whole court out. Dismiss the charge.
Right.
Because then you're going to stand as the owner of that vessel, and you're going to demand payment first. Then you say, well, okay, I've got a ship owner's lien over that account, and I want my payment. Are you going to make the payment to me first? You always ask them a question. You can make a statement, but always finish it up with a question to them.
Okay.
No disrespect to you, Pat, but I know two people who attempted to apply that argument when they went to court, and they ended up in prison.
They didn't use the diversity, I'll bet you anything.
No, I don't think they used that, but they tried to use the argument, that the court is a fiction, they're not the fiction, they're not the name.
See, that's an argument. That was an argument.
That's what I said. That they tried to use that argument.
But they didn't use the word diversity.
Got you.
Okay? See, they were arguing, and you argue, and you're going to get charged with contempt. Then you go to jail on the contempt charge.
Exactly. That's what they went for. Right.
Yep. And see, I've tried to state that before in a lot of this case, is that you can't argue. You're there to settle. I'm here to settle. But first, I need to have it clearly identified who is the one who is being charged under my right of diversity, my plea of diversity. I'm not admitting guilty or not guilty. I need to have this established first. And when you bring up the diversity, that court cannot move until the identity is properly established. Not jurisdiction, it's identity. Who is being charged?
I got a question about that, because if you still got a Social Security number and everything, you can't even argue that at all.
Right. You're not there to argue, okay? You're there to settle. And basically now, if you've got your estate EIN, you're the ship owner and you have a higher lien than they do. The owner always has the superior lien.
Hey, Patrick, what exactly is giving that EIN number the power? When you file it, or when you put in for it and they give it to you, it automatically just ties everything together?
Yeah. How did you get that EIN? You declared your fictional person dead. Your vessel dead.
All right. I was just wanting to make sure of that. That's all. Thank you.
So it's a dead man. It's totally dead now. It's in a, you placed it in a state of, well, almost like dry dock, but it's a state of salvage, okay? And you have the right of salvage as the owner of that vessel. But see, we weren't using that in that regards, and we were kept allowing them to continue to use it. Because we didn't know that basically that was our lien, our ship owner's lien document. We just had to modify it and address it as such. Just like the Social Security card doesn't come out and say that it's a charter. It's implied. So this ship owner's lien, when we got the estate EIN, basically that is an implied ship owner's lien. we do an affidavit and state that. And when you do your Social Security card, we're going to have to modify that statement on the Social Security card to address this fact.
All right, so once we update all our documents, then we turn around and resubmit them to the IRS, correct? In Austin, Texas?
No, we're going to submit them to the Kansas City or the Philadelphia Financial Center.
Okay, everything changes there then, okay.
Yeah, it was the final cog in the process before that I had. I thought we had to go through the Social Security, but we're not going to go through the Social Security because they're the chief charterer, and they ain't going to settle up with us. We've got to go to the enforcement agency, who is going to be the financial center in the Bureau of Fiscal Services. It's operating under the Treasury Department, not the Department of the Treasury.
One other question, Patrick. When you were talking about the fact that one should be receiving a benefit from the Social Security already in order for this process, what did you mean by that? You kind of alluded to it on the Skype group.
To get a Direct Express card from the Department of the Treasury, you needed to have getting a benefit.
Oh, okay, I got it.
Okay, to get that Direct Express card. But when we go in and terminate this thing, basically we will probably be coming out away from the Department of the Treasury and going in under the Treasury Department.
So, Patrick, how do we come out of the system?
You put your order in. You have your ship owner's lien and basically read what it says about charter and about the power of a ship owner's lien. You're the owner of that vessel, of that charter. And you can terminate that charter at any time now. It was only supposed to be there until you turn 25 at the most.
Patrick, I got two more questions about the Form 56.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. In Section A, under Authority, Section F was checked, and it's blank. Authority for fiduciary relationship. What would be the description there?
What do you think?
The issuance of the individual banker's EIN and a claim of
so you're the owner of that initial charter for this vessel. It said when you got that initial Social Security card, okay, the statement that came along with that card said that you own this account. You own the account. They didn't tell you what the account number was, but you own the account. So you own the vessel. The account is the vessel.
Yes.
And you chartered it. So you have to modify this Form 56 to address that your authority is that you are the ship owner of this vessel.
Perfect.
Okay.
Now, Section B, type of taxes, check all that apply. Other.
You're exempt.
Yes, as main corporate usury into tax debt set off with credits due was the example. But
you're exempt.
Okay.
That 98 series EIN, your foreign grantor trust EIN, and your estate EIN are exemption numbers also. You're the owner. The owner is exempt from taxes. The charter is the one that is liable for all taxes. So, in the process of liquidating, that's what I said, when the Wicked Witch got liquidated in the movie Wizard of Oz, what happened to all the bristles on the broom? They were burned up. That's the taxes. She only got the broomstick.
She got the shaft.
No, she didn't get the shaft. She got the broomstick, okay? But all the taxes were settled up.
Section B, line 4, federal tax form number, check all that apply, was listed as 1099A and 1099-6. Or 1096. That would
That's
still
probably an old form. I don't know. Okay. Just take it out.
Take it out.
You don't need them. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Now a lot of people read that basically that EIN number, if we don't file taxes, basically that EIN number is going to be taken away. No, it isn't.
No,
we own that.
Yeah, they haven't taken mine. I haven't filed since 1990.
What's that?
So they never took mine. I haven't filed since 1990.
Okay.
They sent a fresh set of kids out this month and sent a letter saying they want some money for not filing.
Send it back to them. Say, hey, I'm the ship owner. If you've got your estate EIN, send it back to them. Say, hey, this belongs to the charter.
Sounds like a plan to me. Thank you.
Yeah. Stand your ground to the IRS. I have done that too.
So yeah, we've been around a few times.
Yeah.
They leave me alone for a long time, but then every now and then they get a fresh set of kids.
I like these penalty mails.
Well, I'm going to have it out with the IRS again here shortly. And I'm just going to go in there and say, hey, I'm the ship owner, and you better take your damn taxes out of the damn charters the way it's supposed to. The charters are the ones that owe the damn taxes, not me. I'm the owner, okay? And per the Constitution of this country, I owe no taxes because I'm we the people.
We should take them over then. Hey, Patrick, or anybody who has an idea on this?
You got to speak up.
I think you have speakerphone for one. My father died last year, February. My brother was the executor of the estate. I'm pretty damn sure he didn't fully liquidate the account. I have his Social Security number, do I go and create a new estate EIN, or do I try and collect what my brother had set
You
up?
need to get your own self straightened out first. Okay? Then you'll have funds to deal with. Okay?
Yep.
And then basically, if they establish a state EIN over his Social Security account, then you can work with your brother to try and get that resolved.
Okay.
Okay.
And if you'd already set up for your private banker online, and they claim that you can only do one online filing, sent in through fax to get the estate EIN created, and I've got nothing back on it. What route do I need to go then?
How long has it been since you tried to submit the one for the estate EIN?
It would be a week now.
You're going to have to give it a little more time because it may be on the way.
Okay.
You should have been able to get the estate EIN. You should be able to get the estate and the individual banker's EIN online.
The estate isn't one that you need to go through the international for, is it?
No.
I've got the 98 series number.
That is the foreign grantor trust that you need to go to Philadelphia and call them up and get that one.
And that I have. So I think I may have sent it to the wrong place then. I do believe I faxed it to Philadelphia.
Your estate EIN?
I do believe so.
Yeah, you can't fax it there. Basically, the estate should have been going to Cincinnati.
I'm gonna have to double check that, but I think that's where I sent it off to. Should I just refile
We've
it
been talking about this, about trying to go online and getting these online. Okay, and you can have it within 10 to 15 minutes after you hit the send button on the thing, if you've got everything filled out properly. And they've gone over this on the group site numerous different times. Tom's had special calls in on trying to help people get their EINs.
I'll review that then. Try to get in the morning.
Okay.
Patrick?
Yeah.
On the 98 EIN, on question 9, it asks you if you are, what country did you become incorporated in? What foreign country?
You're not incorporated.
Okay, so just mark that non-applicable.
Right.
When you fax it in. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and basically, I don't think you had to fill that out if you looked at the template, and you don't fill out the form to send in for your 98 number. You call them up on the phone.
You don't have to fax it to them?
No. You call them up on the phone number. There's people on the Skype group that basically we've been talking about this for about the last month, 2 months, on getting the 98 series EINs and these other EINs, the banker's individual EIN, and everything else. Tom's had special calls on this.
I haven't attempted it yet. I just had a question about that question 9.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But, yeah, and look at it. You need to read the instructions carefully and see that only covers trust on there. It doesn't cover foreign grantor trust. Okay?
Okay. When
you read the instructions. So a foreign grantor trust, you're not to use that Form 50 or that SS4 form. But there's a phone number, and then basically after you get the phone number, you might have to hang on the line. And there's people out here that have just gotten theirs this last week.
Yeah, Patrick.
Yeah.
Hey, Patrick. The previous question, I know who that is and what he's talking about. I got my 98 Friday, but when the third party is calling, I was right here, and a third party called. They want the SS form because you need to sign it and to authorize the third party, and so I had we faxed the form, the SS form in, just like the template was, and you did and that Tom did, and when it came down to, they asked where the trust was created. And the third party, he dilly-dallied around, and he says, was it formed in this country? And the IRS agent was going to say no to the 98, and he said, well, it was in Canada. He said, look at 9B. And that's what the IRS agent said. And as soon as we said it was in Canada, the third party said it was in Canada. He said, okay, and he gave us the 98. So he referred to line B, and you had to fax the SS4 into him while you're on the phone with them if you have a third party calling in for you.
You shouldn't need a third party.
Well, I never sent him a form an SS4 on either one of them, on my estate or on my foreign grantor trust. The IRS is the one that went and got me the foreign grantor trust because I read the damn instructions out here on the Schedule B of the 1040 form that talked about foreign grantor trust. So I filled out a 3520 and a 3520A and sent that into Ogden, Utah, along with my 1040 form.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to make my Social Security number and a EIN and say, okay, here's my foreign grantor trust number. They said that is not a foreign grantor trust number, so the IRS out in Ogden went to Philadelphia and got me my number for me. They never asked me what country I was from. They got it. Because, see, I filled it out. Basically, I was here in this country, but I was outside their jurisdiction. See, the whole deal about the IRS in the process is basically they're operating in the 10-mile square of Washington, D.C. That's their country. Washington, D.C. is not part of the United States of America. It's a corporation charter. It's a separate entity unto itself. They have no jurisdiction over the people that are out in the states. Really, unless you voluntarily give jurisdiction to them. We have protected rights by the 9th and 10th Amendments in the Constitution, that we retain all of our rights and all of our powers, that we do not give up to them. So stop voluntarily giving them control over you and your property.
So Patrick, if they give you a 98 for a foreign granted trust, if they give you a 98 and dash 6, that's a foreign grantor trust EIN, correct?
If that's what they call it, yes.
Okay, great, thank you.
And that will give you access to the de jure treasury to process your bank notes, your certificate of live birth certificate as a bank note in against the de jure treasury of the country. And that goes all the way back to the very first statute, or the statutes at large, Volume 1, to where the people, if they ever got into debt, they were to petition the Secretary of the Treasury. If the courts did not process it for them, you would petition the Secretary of the Treasury to pay your debt, your implied debt out here, because there was never supposed to be any debtor prisons in this country. That was one of the key things that the Founding Fathers established, that this was not to be a debtor's prison country like England and France and half the other damn European countries were. Also, Bill of Attainers, okay? It's in the Constitution twice that there shall be no bills of attainder. That means that they cannot put a bill of attainder against the living people of this country, either at the federal level or at the state level. But yet, all of your incarcerations, arrests, and everything that are non-harming are operating as bills of attainder. They are bills of attainder in the commercial world, in the codes of law, which do not apply to the living people. Therefore, they can have bills of attainder against a fiction. That's why you have to do the diversity in the process to establish your identity. And you do that also by affidavit. You don't sit in court and argue with them. You argue with them, you're going to lose. That's the old patriot bullshit of going in there and trying to argue the situation, and just look how many damn people claim to be patriots that are in jail because they didn't know shit about going into court. Hell, the Montana Freeman basically sat in court. The whole court walked out. The judge and everybody else walked out. The Montana Freeman could have walked right out of the court. It was dismissed. But they sat there. They were scared they were going to get shot if they walked out the door. So they sat there. The court came back in about 10, 15 minutes later, said, I guess you guys want to continue. They said yes. They ended up going to jail. Because they were so goddamn smart. They knew what the shit they were doing. They voluntarily stayed there, scared of their own damn shadow. And that's the way they have everybody in this country is scared to shit of their own goddamn shadow.
The maxim of law says he who leaves the battlefield first loses.
Yeah, and they left the battlefield. The court left.
Yes.
So you won. The Montana Freeman could have walked out of there free. The court left the battlefield. See what I'm saying? The maximum law held up.
Yeah.
But the idiots stayed there and voluntarily allowed them to continue a court case against them.
Yeah, they could have walked right up to the front of the court and claimed the whole thing being dismissed.
Yeah, that window was open and they didn't see the window open.
Yeah. And see, that's the way so many people are.
I've done that before.
You sit there and basically you don't know when to shut up. You sit there and you open your mouth and basically the more you argue with them, thinking you know, the more you're going to get in trouble. Because these attorneys and everything are groomed into that. They operate on trickery, deception, deceit, fraud, you name it. That's their whole MO. They couldn't tell the truth if their life depended upon it. And they wouldn't know the truth if it stood right in front of them, looking them straight in the eye. Any other questions on understanding about this thing being a charter and about your estate EIN being your ship owner's lien?
Well, so we need to send to the IRS an update of our 56F because I know we're supposed to send them, right?
You can send a copy into them, yes.
Okay, thanks.
When you get it filled out. You're also going to send a copy of this into the financial center. When you correct and update it, stating that basically this is your this EIN is your ship owner's liening document, but you'll have to do your affidavit for that Social Security card when you send that into the financial center. And on that affidavit, you're going to have to make that statement. You're coming in now as the ship owner, and you have your ship owner's lien for that EIN. And that's what you're routing your funds out with. You're not using the charter routing number, the charter's routing number. See, all those taxes and everything else, they're coming out against the charter's routing number, right?
You're right.
Don't all your bills come out with the Social Security number, 123-45-6789?
Yeah.
That is a bill against the charterer. The taxes are owed by the charterer, not by the ship owner. So who should you be sending all your tax bills to?
Kansas City.
You should be sending them to the Social Security office, as they are the charterer, but you need to address that they are the charterer and that you are the ship owner. Notify the IRS that they need to send it back to them and say, hey, you need to send this to the charterer. This is an obligation of the charterer, not of the ship owner. Stop playing Mr. Nice Guy and paying the debt for the charterer. Like I said, the ship owner is not the debtor.
So would that count for
The charterer is the debtor.
You send it along with a W8BEN then.
Huh?
You would send that along with the W8BEN too, right?
You can modify the W8BN and put that down that you're coming in, that you are the ship owner.
Yes.
Okay?
Would that also?
And that all obligations, all tax obligations, are the obligation of the charterer, not of the ship owner. The ship owner stands exempt.
This has been a good night.
I knew we could get there, okay? We've been right here close for years on this stuff. It's just pulling all the pieces together, but we needed to have that individual banker's EIN, and then we need to have our estate and our foreign grantor trust EINs now, and those are our ship, our vessel liens, our ship owners' vessel liens against our accounts, our vessels.
And all we had to do was ask for it.
Yeah. And see, that's what's the problem. Most of the country has never gotten an estate EIN over their Social Security account. So they can't claim to be the ship owner because they haven't placed their ship owner's lien over that vessel. Of course, they never knew that it was a charter in the process.
Nope. Those people were good at deception.
Yeah, and 99% of the people, even all these patriot gurus out here, they never knew a damn thing about Title 46.
Yeah, he caught that motherfucking shit.
There was never any talk about that until basically I started bringing it up. That I know of. Of course, I don't know everybody out there that there's other people out there that have been stating stuff like this, but I've talked to quite a few of the different organizations and different groups that patriots and everything that were out here, and they never knew anything about that. So, and then to see that all these 1099s and all these other forms that are out here, taxing forms, they're all banking forms. They're not for us.
Yeah, I had a friend that was very good with the 1099s, and he helped a lot of people with them. But he's gone now.
Yeah, and basically, it really didn't have any true consistency. Some people got some stuff out of it, and then basically it turned around and backfired because they didn't know how to follow up and put the hammer to it by using the ship owner's lien.
Do you have any updates on Vernell, Patrick?
On what?
On Vernell. No.
Vernell.
Vernell?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't know whether she got her. They were going to send her stuff back, I think, or process her stuff that she sent into Social Security up the ladder, and I don't know whether it got turned around and sent back to her or not.
Gotcha.
But several people got their stuff back, and that's why I said at the very beginning, I thank people for putting that out, because the more we heard back, the more it was able to aid in moving forward to see that there was something else that was missing in the process.
Gotcha.
And see, that's the whole deal. If you're the only one that's out there doing anything, basically you don't see everything right off the bat. But if you get a bunch of people in different areas and basically the same scenario is coming back, then you know that something is possibly wrong, and you start looking in a slightly different area. But see, I had it the other day, the last two calls. Oh, by the way, Tom, I don't see the call for the 8th up there in the group site on the e-concurrent.
I'll check it. I thought I put it up there. Maybe it disappeared again. It didn't. It disappeared the first day, but then I got it up at the end of the day, and people said they got it.
Okay, well, I don't see it up there. I'm pretty sure it's the 11/8.
Yeah. I'll go check it again.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll do that.
Drew asked for that, and I gave him the link for it.
The what?
A fellow named Drew asked for it, and I posted the link for it on Skype. I guess he got it.
I saw the link on Skype. Do you have the file download available?
That's where I got mine from. I download them and edit them down so they'll fit on an audio CD.
I gotcha.
Okay, any other questions or anything? I'll try and work on some templates and throw them up there. And, but you guys can work on them too, okay?
All right.
Appreciate your help, Patrick.
Okay.
Thank you,
guys
Patrick.
take care. Okay.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.